All right, joining me at this time is a hip hop artist out of Minnesota, and he's also a CEO. He goes by the name of Stephon Rene. Joining me right now. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Good, good, man. Thank you so much for being on the show this evening. Truly appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, man.
So, just a few weeks ago, you know how people be on Twitter and people follow you, and people get follows and things like that. I got a
Yep.
follow from you, and you send me a DM to check out your music, and I think the link it was a YouTube link. You did a freestyle. I don't, and I don't know if it was for a contest or whatever. It was just you in the booth spitting some bars. And I'm like, this dude he's from Minnesota. That was cold, man. That was dope.
I appreciate it.
So here we are, and great to have you on. So what got you into doing music and pretty much doing hip hop? What got it all started for you?
Um, well, it's kind of funny. I used to live really far up north in Minnesota, and honestly, there's no rap, there's no hip hop. Everyone like country up there. But I don't know. I fell in love with rap, and I'd always try to rap, but I was adopted by a family from up north, and they didn't really agree with rap, so I wasn't allowed to listen to it. So it's kind of like the music that I was not allowed to hear, but when you're not allowed to do something, you do it anyway, and it just made me love rap more. And I started rapping, and when I moved to the cities of Minneapolis, um, I found other rappers around me, so I learned a lot more, and I just fell in love with it more.
Talk about going up against the grain you did. That
Yeah.
is what hip hop is known for, the going up against the grain, and people may not necessarily like the words that come out of these rappers' mouth. There's a lot of perception to it. Not every single artist, say such things, but
Mhm.
obviously most of it you hear it is through mainstream, and people are gonna look at that and say, well, everybody sounds like that, or talks like that, or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's more the music than what you see in the music videos. Now,
Mhm.
hip hop is a form of expression. It's just like any other genre of music. You express yourself. You rap and write about, you know, how you feeling, what you go through, and it's also could be very competitive because everyone want to strive to be the best. You know,
Yeah.
so for you, as you go along into this rap game on a local side of things, um, what's your mindset when you be in the studio, when you writing these songs? Like you strive to be the best. Is that your mindset, or is it just you just putting the music out, sending the message? Like, what's your mindset when you get in the studio and record these songs?
Well, of course, I'd love to be the best one day. It's it started out with just wanting to express myself and hopefully inspiring someone. I used to write really positive music, but I fell in love with more of the hip hop scene. So yeah, I want to be the best, but I want to make it different. So that's why I started my company, and that's why I took a turn in this music and just started working harder and harder. And to the point some people may say, getting obsessed with it, learning and studying and just trying to do your best.
That's true. That's true. And I appreciate that for real. And it's good to see someone like you look at it that way. And you know, I guess for what I've told a lot of hip hop artists, mostly locals and indie and unsigned, etc. You know, I want some substance in hip hop. That's what I want.
Hmm.
I want a variety. I want some sort of message behind these songs. You don't
Yeah.
get too much of that on the radio. And for me, recently, a little over 2 years ago, I just started supporting local music more because I
Hmm.
know for sure that they're gonna sound different. They're gonna do things different out of the ordinary. Um, and it's very sad that fans, music fans, a lot of them, they support these big name artists, but they won't support their own, who lives in their neck of the woods. And it's
Yeah.
like and I asked a question to those particular fans, and that question is, where do you think, how did those artists on the radio got started? Or at least majority of them. They got started the same way that these local artists did, performing in
Hmm.
small venues, small crowds, had little to no recognition at all. They just did music for the love of it. And if they get signed to a big deal, that's cool. If not, then hey, it's just it is what it is. Um, now, how do you feel about the support that you gotten when you got started compared to the support that you're getting right now?
It's a big change, of course. Like I said, I grew up north. When I started, no one liked rap up there, so I definitely wasn't receiving a lot of support, just a little bit. But right now, like every artist, I believe, needs to get to a point where their music is good, period. Like where the majority of the people who hear it won't deny that it is good music if you have the quality, the songwriting, and the lyrical capability and whatnot. I believe that once you get to a point where the majority of people will like your music, you just got to get as many people to hear your music as possible, and that's definitely what I've been working on. And I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. I created a street team. We're 30 people strong now to help promote me. It's been quite nice. It's really surreal, that people support me and what I'm doing. It's crazy.
I'm definitely a fan of yours, man. And what you bring into the table is refreshing. And it's all about with me, you know, lyricism. People focus a little bit more on the chorus these days. They they
Yeah.
they be waiting for the chorus to come into the song, but it's people like you that's bringing it back to the essence of hip hop, and that's word for word, lyric for lyric, sentence for sentence, punchlines and cleverness and wittiness, and you have all of that in you in this song. So you rapping for your city. You got a good support system in you, and sky's the limit for you. I truly believe, and
Thank
keep
you.
and keep going. Because
Definitely.
that Minnesota people out there, they, they I don't know too much about the Minnesota music scene by any means, but I know it's not that much hip hop going on out there. So at least there's someone like you that can add that to the to that state, to the city of Minneapolis and so forth. Um, so
Thank
the
you.
one of the songs that you sent me is called Breaking Bad, and it features one of my favorite indie hip hop artists, Cryptic Wisdom. I actually saw him perform before. I saw him perform in where I live at right now. That's in Lexington, Kentucky. And dude is very talented. Dude
Oh
got
yeah.
bars. What was it like getting a chance to collaborate with him, just to do the song with him?
It was quite an honor to be honest. I have a lot of respect for Cryptic Wisdom. Like, his rock style of choruses as well as his bar scheme and rhythm scheme is phenomenal. Um, he provided an opportunity where he already had a hook set on a beat, and I purchased it, and I figured that would just be the end of it, purchase it from him and do my song and never hear from him. But he's really down to earth. He gave me a call. We talked on the phone, and we discussed about featuring him on my upcoming album as well, and he was down for that, doing a hook and a rap, and it was quite surreal. And so doing the song, I wanted to make sure I did my best, and of course how I was feeling at the time, like Breaking Bad, and becoming a better artist and getting to a point where anyone who might not have supported me before, once they start hearing my music now, they won't be able to ignore me anymore.
Very true. So, for those who have not heard of Cryptic Wisdom, look him up on Google. Google his name. That dude, and he's from Arizona, I believe. He's definitely from the West
Yep.
Coast. So and for a guy who's indie, who pretty much put the music out the way he wants to, no big label help by any means, dude's dope. Look him up, Cryptic Wisdom. That is his name. So speaking of music, you know, obviously you definitely been working on some songs. When can people expect this new record for you to come out?
So my new mixtape.
Yes.
That is a good question. To be honest, I'm waiting on a few features left before I start releasing it. But the cool thing, what I'm doing with this is my mixtape is called A Trip in the Trap Step, but that's a volume. So that volume has 3 different mixtapes in it, and there's part 1, part 2, and part 3. I'll be releasing part 1, which is called Bad Trip, song by song, and I'm going to release each as a one take and then have like a free download link to it. So it will be, I'll start the releasing process right after I get all my features and have a little bit more time to market it. But I'm hoping for around late October.
Okay. Definitely gonna keep my eye on October for that for sure. Um, Now, for people who haven't gotten a chance to hear your music, who haven't had a chance to hear what you're all about, what can people expect when they hear a Stephon Rene song? What can people expect?
I think they could expect someone witty. I would describe myself as a, relatively fast and witty rapper. I like to, find funny punchlines or ones that get people to think. So you may have to even hear a song a couple times to hear all the punchlines to it.
That's definitely one of the things I like to hear in a hip hop song. Definitely those punchlines. Uh, you know, and just it's just one of those notions that when you hear it, you gotta play it back.
Yeah.
You gotta rewind it just so you can hear, get a good understanding. Did he just say that? Did she just say that? And just
Yep.
I love punchlines. And I love especially because there's always people that's doubting you. There's always someone trolling on social media, saying this and that. Um, Now everybody has them. You know,
Mhm.
if you don't have them, then I guess lucky for you. But like, how do you deal with now? Obviously, criticism it comes with the territory. There's constructive criticism, and then there's criticism when people just want to hate and bash
Mhm.
people's music or whatever. Like, how do you handle those quote unquote critics that want feel the need to just talk down on you and talk down on your music and things like that? Like, how do you react to that?
Well, of course, any constructive criticism, I always accept. I believe any artist needs to be able to handle criticism if they plan on being an artist. But for directly just negative criticism for the fact of being able to hate, I used to ignore it. But I actually did this webinar with Funk Volume when it was still a thing, and they had a special guest, Futuristic. And so Futuristic was telling us about how he likes to be witty sometimes, and with good comebacks with anyone who gives hate. So that video you were talking about that you saw with me on YouTube,
Yes.
there's someone who said, like, I can't remember exactly what, but something like, "Your shit, you should quit rapping now. It's nice to know early." So I responded to it, "YOU apostrophe RE," because he spelled it wrong. And then I responded again saying, actually, it's YOURE, YOU apostrophe RE and then R. So then what he would say would be, "You are the fucking shit." Just to be, kind of funny about it. Like, I take it lighthearted. I corrected him, and of course he wouldn't respond to that. So I think I handle it quite well. It's just something that you have to deal with so you can laugh it off. You can enjoy it. You can respond. You can ignore it. Whatever you feel.
Gotta love it when people feel the need to insult you and can't do it correctly. That's, can't even can't even. It's like I guess it goes back to the punchlines. If you're gonna go with the punchlines, make it effective. And
Right.
unfortunately for that individual, he or she didn't do quite a good job in that. Now I want to talk about Flow Motion Productions. You are the
Yeah.
CEO of Flow Motion Productions. Is that a record label? Is it more than that?
It's more than that. It's a development and production company. So we do develop artists. On the development side, we do everything from helping with songwriting and, really bringing the lyricism back to these artists. Anyone we find that has potential. We will help with even stage presence, with PR, online marketing, building street teams, and, even assist with getting them shows and all of that. So it acts as a record label, one that spends time on the artists and develops them. But I also consider it a production company because we are working on certain projects that will give back to Minnesota and give back to the whole underground music industry.
That's awesome. That's awesome. For people that wants to learn more of your music and your productions, why don't you go ahead promote your social media links, Facebook, Twitter, where people can go to check you out on social media, and how can people go listen to your music?
Well, you can find me on anywhere, anything, any place at OK Stephon Rene. So that's just OK, and then STEPHONRENE. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, basically anywhere at OK Stephon Rene. And pretty soon I'll have my new website up, which will be www.okokstephonrene.com.
I'm pretty sure people been using that as a pun at you at times,
Oh,
especially when
yeah.
you're in a conversation. Okay, Stephon Rene. Uh,
Yep.
so, but nonetheless, thank you so much for being on the show. Truly
That's my
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Continued success, and again, thank you for being on. And best of luck goes out to you, man.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. You too, man.
Bye bye.
Later.